Now that the draft lottery is wrapped up and the entry draft is just around the corner, it's time to create my top 5 mock draft for the 2024 NHL Entry Draft. Let's go. With the 5th overall pick, I think that the Montreal Canadiens will select Caden Lindstrom. The two parties have shown lots of mutual interest, with Lindstrom saying that playing in Montreal would mean a lot to him. In the 2024 WHL season with the Medicine Hat Tigers, Lindstrom scored 27 goals and 46 points in only 32 games. Lindstrom is listed at 6'4", 216 pounds, and despite his big size, he's a really good skater and is quick on his feet. He also has a pretty good shot and is obviously a pretty physical player with his big size. Lindstrom can create a very solid duo of power forwards with Juraj Slafkovsky, which could become a top 1-2 punch in a few years. With the 4th overall pick, I think that Columbus Blue Jackets will draft Anton Siliev. Siliev is the biggest player that we're talking about today at a towering height of 6'7" and 211 pounds. The Blue Jackets are pretty weak on defense right now, and other than Matejchuk and Jiricek, their defensive prospects aren't great, but Siliev is exactly what they need. Siliev's best strength is obviously his size and physicality, which makes him very difficult to play against. He isn't anything special offensively, only scoring 11.63 games last season, but he is amazing defensively, and he will be a very solid defenseman for the Blue Jackets for years to come. Next, I think that the Anaheim Ducks use their 3rd overall pick to select Artyom Levshunov. The Ducks are already pretty loaded with forward prospects and are very weak on defense, so I doubt they'll go for someone like Ivan Demidov, even if they had the chance. One place they're in desperate need of right now are right-handed defensemen, which is exactly what Levshunov is. Levshunov scored 35 points in 38 games in the NCAA last year as a defenseman. Scouts have described him as the most complete defenseman and most NHL-ready player in this draft. In my opinion, he's definitely the best defenseman in this draft. If the Ducks use their pick to draft Levshunov, they could become a cup-contending team in just a few years. With their 2nd overall pick, despite their needs for defensemen, I think that Chicago Blackhawks will pick up Ivan Demidov. Demidov is just too good to resist at the 2nd spot. In the MHL this season, Demidov scored 60 points in 30 games and 28 points in 17 playoff games. Even though he plays in Russia, he doesn't have the same problem that Matvei Mishkov has, and the Blackhawks might be able to get him over to America as soon as next year. Demidov is a lethal offensive threat that, when paired with Bedard, will wreak havoc on the NHL. Demidov has been described as the most electrifying player in this draft and will be a star for many years to come. And now, with the number 1 pick, the San Jose Sharks will undoubtedly draft Macklin Celebrini. In the NCAA for Boston University, Celebrini scored 32 goals and 64 total points in only 38 games and become the youngest player of all time to win the Hobey Baker Award. Celebrini has amazing speed, a powerful shot, high hockey IQ, and despite his scoring ability, he also plays a pretty good two-way game. He can play everywhere on the ice at an elite level, and even though he might not be Bedard level, he will still turn into a very elite NHL player. Celebrini might just be an average size for an NHL player, but he has a very high compete that makes up for it. Celebrini also played for the San Jose Junior Sharks U14, so it's only fitting that he spends his career with the Sharks. And that does it for my mock draft for the 2024 NHL Draft. Do you agree? Comment down below. That'll do it for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.